make my way over to the kit. Testing, testing. We are live. Testing, testing. I believe we are. I believe we are live. Just. Yeah, testing. Can you hear kick drum? Kicking on that kick drum. What's up? Okay. Testing, testing. We are talking, we are testing. We are testing, talking. Testing, talking. Testing, talking. Annoying. Alex. Annoying. Alex. Testing, talking, talking. I said texting all of a sudden. Texting and talking. Testing, talking. Test, talking. Test. That was different. Yeah, all good? Groovy. All right. I'm going to just be playing some drums and I'll keep an eye on chat. Sir, and yeah, I'll do about an hour. Okay, bye. Testing. Oh. All right. I think we're good. I got a weird signal there, but I think we're okay. We are testing, but we're good now. I'm just gonna play some drums until somebody asks me some questions. I did it again. Just goofing off. Just goofing around. Goofing around to you guys. Ask me. Name that movie. You don't know. You don't know that movie. I do believe that was Dave Chappelle. So that was Half Baked. And we are live. So if anybody has any questions. If anybody has any questions. That's not showing up on my end. Oh, I see something. Can you? Oh no. So I see, I'm going to have to check on my phone instead because I can't really see the chat from all the way over here. Silly me, but that's part of why, we do these things. Yep, that'll happen. Can you explain the fills you were doing before, how you sound like you're hitting more than one tom with the double pedal, or it's just your, okay, cool. I think I know what you're talking about. Alex is asking about, and you correct me, but I believe you're talking about what's called like the 2/2s or the 4/2s, so it's just this. So again, I call it 2/2, like 2 hand notes, 2 foot notes, if you can do fast enough with a single. But then obviously you can go way faster with the doubles. But yeah, so the thing with those is you can't underestimate those individual hits. Like, it's easy to just kind of flop the arms. So you're like kind of doing it, but it doesn't really come through. Hard hits, tight pinkies. Like, you really got to mean those hits. And that's 2/2, and then those are all mixed together. So the other one is the 4/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Sorry, real quick. My editor is going to kill me if I don't hit record for him to use this later. He's going to be so mad. Okay, so I just hit record, or else my editor will punch me. So I can explain all that again now. So those fills, just do like a little demonstration now. Those are a total cheat code in drumming because it always feels like they're way easier to do than they seem. I call them 2/2s, right? So just 1, 2, 1, 2, hands and feet, or the 4/2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4s and 2s are very fun, and I like to just mix them around, honestly. So I'll just do it on one drum so you can hear it, but I'm just mixing 2s and 4s on the hands. It's 2s and 4s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Very fun to do. Total cheat code again because they sound awesome, but they're not terribly. Oh, you said, but you did it mainly on the floor. Yeah, but that's so. I guess because the floor tom and the bass drum are so closely connected, especially with the snare off. Listen to the difference between this and this. Right? Because that snare's off, so you're not getting that, what is it called, sympathetic buzz, sympathetic vibration. So those two drums are so well woven that this has a very particular sound to it. It's got a real nice attack to it because those drums are so similar. No snare buzz. Sounds really, really tribal and awesome. Yeah, love that one. I do see people in here, so yeah, any questions, guys? Beginner. We'll talk about money beats with the snare on. Talk about swing. Ah. That wasn't jazz, but that was definitely swing. I see more messages. How many hits are you doing for those? Hello, Susan. How many hits are you doing for those? What kind of strokes? Okay, so I'll do it on the snare with the snares on because I don't want to overcomplicate it. You can change up the strokes all you want for the snare, but really what you're doing, it's not even about the strokes. I'll tell you what, way to like ask the perfect questions. What I want to do is put on a metronome, which I know I have here. There it is. You should be able to hear that. So I'll do it on. So Alex, just do me a favor and confirm. You're talking about the fill I was just doing, and I'll do it here. That's stuff, right? And I'll wait to get that answer in. But I do believe that's what Alex is talking about. I call them 2/2s. And the reason why I put the metronome on is because then I can show you. Like literally. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I will do it on the snare, but it's, it's applicable. It's the same thing. So these would be 16th notes, right? What am I talking about? 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, right? So I'll do it as 16th notes. So what's complicated there is making sure that they're all even 16th notes. I didn't do any kind of special sticking. I didn't do any double strokes or anything. I did all single strokes. It was all, like, I'm a lefty, so I lead with the left a lot. It was all left, right, 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 left, right. It was all leading. That's all left, rights, left, rights. The difference is applying them as 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, right? Applying them as 32nd notes. Actually, there I added 4s on the foot too. Those are hard to do. But again, 4, so that would be like a 4/4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 4s. So that's, I would say, the more complex. Let me change the speed on the metronome. But that would be the more complex way of applying it. It's not about the sticking because you're just doing like little bursts. If you really like your double strokes, then those 4 bursts can be a right, right, left, left. That's pretty cool. But again, not how I process things. For me, it's all about the steps in the ladder. If you don't know what the ladder is, let me know in the chat, but I can explain that. But that's where my interest is. What about triplets? 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So that's a 2 over 2. Snare, snare, kick, kick, snare, snare, kick, kick, snare, snare, kick, kick. But they're triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. I'll switch to triplets. 1/8 notes. Quarter note triplets. Oh wait, quarter note triplets. Quarter notes. Way off. Eighth notes. 8th note triplets. 16th notes. Quintuplets? No. There it is. Those are quintuplets. Those are hard. Those are a little messy. 16th note triplets. Cool. 30-second notes. Now, to Alex's point, to his question about before, if you want to bring sticking into it, obviously, if you're doing a group of 2s, you're limited to either a left-right, a right-right, a left-left, or a right-left. But if you do 4 notes, then you obviously that opens up a lot more possibilities. So like, let me do a 4 over 2. No. So my brain kind of wanted to go to triplets. If I split that across 2 drums, then the sticking becomes really obvious. Oh, sorry. I almost think I went through most of the options there. That would be the other one. Man, I really got to work on weak hand hi-hat lead. I just see it even on the camera, and it just doesn't look comfortable. This is because this is a French grip. I really like the French grip on my lead hand. Ah, that's cool. I'm just messing around. See what happens. Yeah, so I've definitely loosened this side up. Not so much this side. Whew. Lost it. Just jam into the metronome. One of my favorite things to do. Which I will continue doing. I also, you know, for me, jamming and practicing are kind of the same thing. So maybe right now I'm jamming or practicing, but I could kind of bounce between the two. Maybe I'm doing something cool, and then suddenly I go, oh wait, let me work on that. So it doesn't even matter. See, I ask you, am I jamming or am I practicing? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't possibly tell you. Couldn't tell you, man. I'm just jamming. Like I'm practicing because I can feel that my weakness is fading. Every time I go with my weak foot, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, which is not easy to do with your weak foot, and I'm putting my weak hand on top of it. Ba 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 ba. I can feel my weakness leaving. I can feel the foot getting stronger, getting better at, you know, rebounding. Ba 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 ba. Feeling the pedal coming back. I'm having fun, but also I'm working on getting better at the things I need to get better at. And I'm always attacking my, not always. Sometimes when I'm drumming, I'm attacking the main issue. You know, my weak hand on the lead is an issue. So every once in a while, it's a good idea to just try to free jam with your weak hand leading. I'm going to ignore the metronome here. That's just my weak hand trying to whip at full speed. If I do with my strong hand. Okay, I can do it with my strong hand. So can I do it with my weak hand? You know, that's the kind of stuff you should be working on. That's my weak hand. So fine, not bad, fine. But that's the kind of stuff you should be attacking, at least sometimes. Okay, so weak foot, weak hand. How about opposites? Left foot, right hand, both hemispheres of the brain. How about quieter? Woo! That's hard to do. I'm trying to go. So those are opposite suit on the other side. Ooh, horrible. But this feels so good. What I meant was like that. This feels good. It's a little sloppy, but those muscles, that calf knows what it's doing. I messed it up there right as I was saying. I was enjoying it. Should try playing The Crunge by Zeppelin. Is that the Crunge? Is that what it's called? What's you tell me where I can find that, where I can pull that up. Because I will happily pull that up. The Crunge. But anyway, yeah, so when, if I was going to ask my editor to cut this into, you know, something valuable for YouTube Shorts or something, I would say, metronome on or off, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's okay to just free jam and have the practice and the free jam kind of be morphed together. So I'll turn the metronome off for this. But that's the name of the song, The Crunge. All right, I'm getting a request here. Yeah, remember, I don't want to, I don't get it. So I won't look up the song because I don't want to get any copyright issues from YouTube. But yeah, I didn't even know that was the name of the song. I'm like, am I not the biggest Zeppelin fan? Love Zeppelin. It could be that I'm not a Bonham head. That's really what it is. I love those triplets. Those are fun. You know, he was known for his triplets. But yeah. So again, what my editor might want to cut out and make a nice little video of is, you shouldn't always sit down and feel like you have to do one thing or the other. Sometimes you should sit down and just play. What does it mean to just play? Well, it's fun to do this. Can you do this slow? Right? How'd that turn into Jingle Bells? Right? Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha! Why did it turn into that? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But because I'm playing, that's why. Because I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing around. If you're like a totally new drummer and you don't even know what the heck to do when you sit down, just play. Like, play patterns. So, yeah, how did that come about? I'm just playing around. I'm just goofing around. It's fun to do this. Maybe do a little faster, I'm not saying you can, if you're a beginner, you can't do that, but if your drum teacher showed you the money beat, good. Add one note. Boom, 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 boom. Try to add that third note now. Add a bass under that snare. Bass, 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 bass. So all three, bass, bass. All three hitting at the same time. All three. Can you add bass on all four? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass, 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 bass. That's what I would call the 4 on the floor quarter note money beat. 4 on the floor, 8th note money beat's a little bit different. Right? But, yeah. Whatever your limitation is, you don't just try to break away from that limitation. You try to add on to that, or you try to chip away at that, right? So with that same example, just quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. If your teacher showed you the quarter note money beat, which is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you feel pretty good about this, maybe your teacher wants you to change this or not change this. Maybe he's got you playing Seven Nation Army for the 10th time and you're over it. Add a snare, an extra snare, right? Double snare like that. 1, 2, double snare. 1, 2, both hands, 1, 2, both hands, right? Bass, bass, both hands, bass, bass. So you went from the money beat to kind of like a hybrid money beat. And this also has that double snare is like that old school like 50s bop. That kind of like surf rock vibe. So just adding that double snare gives it a whole other feel. I say this to my students all the time because you have to learn the money beat, but then you don't have to just like go learn something totally different. Add to the money beat. Add to that next thing. Add to that next thing. Add to that next thing. You should always be building. I don't have a ride on this little mini kit, but if I had a ride over here, I would say you can do the exact same money beat, but now because you're off the hi-hat, now try to introduce quarter notes on the hi-hat foot. Foot, 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 foot. So you're doing a money beat on the ride. 1 and 2. Here I'm going to switch it to 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Both feet, snare and hi-hat foot. 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 Does that sound like faster? Ah! Woo! My double bass is always shit. Ah! Good save, floor tom. Testing, 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 testing. Sure. The answer to a question nobody asked is yes. Test, test, testing, 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 testing. And this thing sometimes I wonder, testing, testing. I pray for. All right. Yeah, I'll do a song. Heck yeah. Off the cuff. First try. Sounds good. Good. Excellent. All right, this is a song I wrote that I play sometimes. I pray for health, yeah, health for all living things. I pray for health, yeah, health for all living things. I pray for strength, yeah, strength for all living things. I pray for strength, yeah, strength for all living things. I pray for wealth, yeah, wealth for all living things. I pray for wealth, yeah, wealth for all living things. But none of that means shit if you do not have your freedom. If you do not have your freedoms, if you do not have your freedoms. So I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, 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 freedom. I pray for something other than the worst that we can do. I pray for something other than the worst that we can do. I pray for something other than the worst that we can do. I pray for something other than the worst that we can do. I pray for something other than our worst, our damn worst, our damn worst, our damn burst. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. If not for me, then for all my daughters and my son. I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, health, strength, wealth for all living things. I pray for freedom, 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 freedom. Something happened with my mouse. I did finish the song. That was not my best. I got to work on where I'm supposed to breathe. Because that part, I pray for something other than the worst that we have done. I pray for something other than that's. I pray for. Yep, I'm gonna keep on playing the drums until somebody bugs me. Or, you know, go back to doing like some specific stuff, some exercises. Ah! Sometimes it's so good. Okay. Okay, Senor Drumstick, I am sorry. Ooh. Ah. wouldn't have been able to do that fast enough. What are you working on with your students? With Billy, I'm working on Ticks and Leeches by Tool. See if I can do it without that other tom. Now, how does it go? There it is. So I do have, so. Ticks and Leeches by Tool. And then, because I think he goes into this. Oh shit! But that's we're working on Ticks and Leeches. One of my students, Lydia, just got finished learning a song called "Butterflies" by a guy named Logano. Really like that song. I didn't play a lick of it though. I wrote some of it for her. She figured it out very quickly. She's a very good student. Judy is probably working on something crazy. She just got done doing another School of Rock show. She one of the songs she did, and she handled it no problem. Is what's it called? Green. You'll have to forgive me. Green Eyes. Is it Green Eyes? By oh brother, not Steely Dan, or maybe it was Steely Dan. Green Eyes by Steely Dan. Does that sound right? It's Green Eyes. If I'm getting the band wrong, I apologize. Who else? I got students working on stuff in the book. Everybody's working on stuff in the book. I got everybody working on the ladder. I got everybody working with the metronome. And the ladder and the metronome kind of go hand in hand in the sense that if the metronome's on, as a drummer, your only options are just whatever the notes are that you can fit inside of that space. Let me demonstrate. Your voice is a bit quiet. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Actually. Sometimes I wonder if that's... Oof. All right. Testing, testing. So I should have this on, but... All right, everybody hold on 1 second. Hopefully that's a little better. Testing, testing. That's like right on my face, but that's okay. I don't mind feeling it. Testing, testing. It is something might be a little up with this, with the headset. Because testing, testing. Testing, testing. Because I can kind of hear it cutting out a little bit. You keep letting me know, Alex, about the vocals. Ah. Ah, that was so cool. Ah. Clearly an error there in my technique or my playing or something because I wasn't able to pull off those double strokes. That's so dope. It's been about an hour. Are you sticking with the smaller kit for a while? Yes. Cool question. So for those of you who don't know, I do have, this is like a bigger kit. You see it all there. But this was the setup for the live stuff, and I'm just going to stick with this, man. This is too fun. Obviously, it's very important to like take a bunch of drums away from yourself and limit yourself and then see what you can do with that. If I told you to just free jam with your feet, you can do it all day, right? I even went into like creepy weirdo mode just because I was really feeling it, right? A little messy, a little sloppy, fine. Doesn't matter. I'm practicing. I'm playing. I'm having fun. I'm jamming. You know, and if I limit myself, then I'm taking a lot of pressure off by not feeling like I have to add 10 layers to every kick. If you're just playing with the feet, there's a lot of cool stuff that can go on there, as I just demonstrated. Right? Got to work on my hi-hat a little bit, but so going from a huge drum set with 1,000 pieces on it, 1,000 cymbals, and limiting it just down to double bass, hi-hat foot, floor, snare, obviously hi-hat, 2 splashes. That's a lot of options, and I took a lot of stuff away. If I just had one drum, that would be an amazing opportunity to force myself into more creative situations, because or else I'm just going to get real bored on one drum. So limiting yourself is a really, really good idea if you're trying to get better. Just jam. Here's a great one, and then I'll let you guys go. Here's your homework for anybody who's out there who's not really sure what to work on, maybe getting a little bored behind the drums, can't afford lessons. Just jam on these 2 drums, your floor tom and your snare. I lost it. Whatever. Just jam it. I could do it all day just on the 2 drums. fine. I'm adding the foot, playing around. Oh, I messed up. Definitely messed it up there. I lost control of the foot. It went crazy. Whatever, man. I'm just playing. Just goofing off. If you know the rules, then you break them. Learn the rules, then break them. All right. Let's leave it at that. That was fun. I know we got a lot of good footage out of that. Thank you for everybody who stopped in, especially Alex. I'll see you guys in the next one. Beep. Maybe she doesn't want to stop streaming. Maybe she wants to keep going. No, computer. Sorry, computer.